Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. It is time for certifications and supports. We will start with certifications. So, Lorenz is ready to promote his mastery skill for Warlock is Bowbreaker, which would actually be pretty nice for him to have. He's pretty far away from it though. He needs 20 more combat, so I think I'm not gonna worry too much about it right now, but maybe I'll switch him back for the battles next weekend. I don't know, we'll see. Although I guess if I was going to do that, I could actually just not promote him for now, and then what does he lose for this? Oh, Black Magic uses ×2. Yeah, that doesn't matter too much. You know what? We'll come back to that. Alright, so Raphael did get his mastery and is ready to promote. Now, the downside of him promoting is he loses that amazing... well, they don't show it here, but the attack 3 times combat art. It was really disappointing. But he does get Axe Fair and Crit plus 20. Actually loses speed. That's pretty annoying. And Dex, that's pretty annoying. He does gain a bunch of strength, though. So, whatever. He also gets to wear some kind of dragon thing on his chest, so that's nice, I guess.
Yeah, I passed.
Yes, you did. Did he actually lose speed? I think he didn't actually net lose speed because of the part that of the bonuses that you don't see, but I don't know. I don't remember. Whatever. Okay. Next, we've got Hilda. Hilda did not master her skill, so that is Alert Stance Plus, I think? No, wait. No, that's not it. Crap, what is it? Hold on a second. No, that is Sealed Defense, about which I do not care. So, that is whatever. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. You get that nice +1 movement. You get a bunch of stat bonuses. Strength, more speed, more defense, more res. You get Avoid +10, can't go wrong with that. Just all around great promotion. Except for the not being able to wear her own outfit part. Or I guess maybe she didn't as a Wyvern Rider either.
Ah, shucks. I guess I did it.
Yeah, you can actually tell, I realized at some point, you can actually tell by the sprites, but you just have to know what the sprites normally look like. So yeah, like if you compare the sprites from Marianne and Hilda, for example, here, Marianne has the regular fighter sprite. You can see like Marianne and Lysithea, same fighter sprite, just different hair. Hilda has a different fighter sprite, so that's her custom class. Likewise, if you look at Bishop, which Marianne currently has, she has like that little thing on there, and then Lysithea has that little hat for Warlock. So that's how you can tell. I just realized that relatively recently. Probably a little slow in the uptake there, but whatever. Okay, so we've got Byleth is good to go, Claude's good to go, Raphael's good to go, Ignatz is not ready, and also probably will just stay as an assassin anyway, because Mortal Savant is kind of garbo. Lysithea is already promoted, Marianne is not ready to promote, Hilda's done, Leonie is done, and Flane can't promote. So all we're left with is Lorenz. So I think we have... Yeah, we have 2 Master Seals. So it doesn't matter too much. If he fails this, what are we even risking? We risk that eventually... that Anna doesn't show up before Marianne wants to promote? Like, yeah, that doesn't seem likely. She will. So, not much of a risk anyway. I don't know if this uses 2RN or not, but it feels like it uses something that isn't linear.
Is there any doubt?
Because I've never seen one higher than 70% fail, I don't think. And it also feels like the ones below 50% fail more often than they should. Like, I just ran... I don't know... Like, I had Alois, Manuela, Caspar, Ferdinand... all try at like 45%ish and Manuel at 68. They all failed. The previous week I had, it was like Ferdinand, Caspar, and Sylvain all at about 45%, and only Sylvain succeeded, which is closer to expectation. But if you put those two together, that's like 1 out of 7 at mostly 45 and 168, which, so you'd expect the success rate to be pretty close to 50%, and it was 1 out of 7. I mean, that's within the realm of possibility, of course, but I don't know. I suspect it's not a regular RNG roll. Okay, so I'll worry about whether Lorenz should switch back to Warlock later. For now, we're going to do some supports. And we have a lot of them, though maybe not quite as many as it looks like.
Hey there, Petra.
Claude? Where are you?
He's in the tree.
Where else? Wait, I'll meet you down there.
Claude, I thought you were not able to climb the trees.
True, and that is exactly why I worked like a madman to devise a new climbing technique.
I have much admiration for that. To climb is a skill with value.
What can I say? Okay, so I may have cheated a little by using my bow to shoot a rope over a branch, or a few branches, or all of the branches. Once I got up there and hauled up the ropes, it was the same result as if I'd climbed it your way.
I am understanding. That costs more time, though, so it is not the best thing for hunting. But you are not harming the tree, so that is an advantage. I am liking this technique.
You're right. I didn't harm the tree at all. I'm surprised that impressed you.
The tree has a spirit. If you hurt the tree, you will give its spirit anger.
I see. I take it the people of Bridget have a close relationship with nature, then?
Trees give us food and also shelter. We are needing them, and they are needing us.
True. The people of Fodland believe everything is a blessing from the goddess. They've forgotten to be grateful to nature, too. Nature gives us life, sustains us. Without it, we couldn't breathe, couldn't live. It's everything. It's fine to pray to the goddess, but we have to respect nature, too. Don't you think?
Yes. I do not know this goddess, but I know nature. That is the knowing I prefer to have.
You and me both.
Well, that was a nice support.
Lawrence, look!
What is it, Hilda? Ah, a letter from your brother?
That's right. Though part of me thinks it's some stranger imitating my brother's handwriting. He's never given me this much praise. Hilda, you've learnt the value of persistence. You're really maturing, stuff like that. Usually his letters are like, I'm worried about you, and stop being so lazy.
Since I have fought by your side, I can assure you that his praise is genuine and entirely deserved.
I've written about fighting in plenty of letters. Why is he so gushy this time around?
I would venture to guess that your depictions of battle are more passionate than before. It's no surprise that such authenticity would resonate with a veteran warrior like your brother.
If that's true, I have you to thank. You've inspired me to throw myself into battle. Does everyone think I'm a tough warrior now? I'm stuck with their high expectations.
Would that be so terrible? You are gifted, you know. Not to say that your lackadaisical nature has failed to endear itself to me.
Wait, really?
I'll choose to take that as a compliment.
Speaking of letters, did you keep your promise? Did you, mention me?
Of course not.
Did. I told my brother all about you. I said you were a uniquely gifted leader who could inspire people to be their best selves. And I said that you'll be a real asset to the Alliance. I also told him how I wished you could join our family. He responded that he'd be
Whoa,
honored to
whoa,
call his brother.
whoa.
Truly? Oh, to have such a valiant brother would be beyond my wildest expectations.
Lawrence? You know what I mean about you joining our family, right?
I believe I do. And I confess, if I am correct, that the same thought has preoccupied me as well. But you must forgive me. Now is not the time. Before we can consider our own future, we must first end this war. We must secure a peaceful world.
And if we do attain a peaceful world, then what? Come on! Just say it.
As much as I'd like to grant that request, I cannot. This is something that will deeply affect our lives. It must be said at the proper time and place, with the most artfully chosen words, and the perfect offering. I am Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, after all.
Whoa.
I'm not usually one for waiting around, but maybe I'll make an exception in his case.
Really? Come on, Hilda. Okay, It's good that they're not... It's good that they set up the paired endings in the A supports from the perspective that doesn't come out of nowhere. Although since you don't see, like, the S support between them, it still... I don't know. But, it's just kind of odd. Like, if they don't end up paired, then that, like, conversation, like, feels like there's, like, I don't know, way too much. That's way too close to get to, like, committing to getting married to then just be like, actually, no, sorry, see ya. I don't know. And honestly, like, it's kind of weird, too, like, this idea of, like, oh, there's too much going on. We can't, like, you know... Oh. I don't know. Yeah, maybe in, like... Maybe that's more of a historical thing to do. I feel like it's a weird tack to take to not only say, like, we're not, like, actually, like, you know, having a wedding, but also we're just, like, not, like, committing to anything right now. You know, it's one thing if you're, like, really young, but I guess they are pretty young still at this point, like, early 20s, so. I don't know. It just feels kind of awkward to me. I may not be doing a good job of expressing why. Raphael Ignatz, sure.
Hey, Raphael. Reading a letter?
Well, if it isn't old Ignatz. I got a message here from my sis.
Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long. I bet she's all grown up.
Nah, she's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her. But she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. Alright, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. That warms my heart. I remember the day I gave Maya that drawing. She looked so happy. Before then, I never knew I could make people happy with art. It was a revelation. I've been drawing and painting ever since, in hopes of becoming an artist one day.
Wait,
You're
what?
much better now, so it must be paying off. I bet you could be a real artist.
No, that's not possible, I'm afraid. I have to consider my parents' wishes.
Who cares what your parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
You tell him, Raphael.
Huh. You think so?
I know so. And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got. Okay, let me see. What's the first step to follow your dreams? Oh, got it. You should paint me.
Paint you?
Yeah, I want my little sis to know how good I'm doing here. So I gotta send her proof. Plus, she'll be doubly impressed if it's a painting you made.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face. bring Maya comfort.
My face? No way! You gotta get my muscles in there! Mostly my chest and arms.
Are you sure that's what she'd want to see?
Wait! Before you start painting, I gotta get me a little more training in. If my muscles aren't bulging, then what's the point?
I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, seriously. Now that I know and remember that Raphael's sister is named Maya, I really wish he would refer to her as such rather than just saying little sis all the time. Like, I know that that's kind of like a Japanese thing, but it's kind of awkward and like I don't know. To me, it feels like it would be more personal if he said her name rather than like. Well, especially when he's talking to somebody who knows her. Like, I feel like when I refer to people as like, you know, my sibling, or, you know, my brother, my sister, I do that when I'm talking to people who don't know them. When I'm talking to people who do know them, I just refer to them by their name. And like I said, I mean, I know it's a Japanese thing, but I feel like the translation could be a little bit more liberal with that. Cynthia and Felix. Okay, this one I have seen before, so let's skip over that one. Marianna and Ferdinand. Okay.
Are you enjoying this lovely day, Dorte? Everyone seems to be in such good spirits.
Marianne, do you have a moment?
That horse doesn't look comfortable at all.
Oh, Ferdinand. What do you need?
I have been thinking about what you said.
I didn't mean to upset you. You should just ignore me and...
You misunderstand. It is not that you upset me. Honestly, you mystify me. You are a noble, and yet you do not wish to be one. Is that not so? I did not expect to hear that from the daughter of Margrave Edmund.
But I'm not actually his daughter. He's a distant relative. We share very little of the same blood.
But still, you come from a noble lineage, do you not?
Oh, no. I'm just a minor noble from the countryside.
Minor though it may be, you were born into a noble family, which means you are a noble too. We did not choose to become nobles. We were born into the nobility.
I understand, but that's why I said I don't care to be responsible. I had no say in the matter.
Marianne,
My parents and I have suffered because of this bloodline and crest. Even so, I am prepared to do what I must, as the daughter of a noble family.
Are we ever gonna find out, A, what her crest is, and B, what this suffering was? Like, I feel like all the other characters that this kind of thing comes up in, they're much quicker to the point. Marianne just, like, vaguely is, like, doing this, like, with everyone. I really want, like, just tell me what the actual problem is, please.
But to be told that's still not enough, I just...
I see. I will not pretend to understand, but you should try to calm down a bit. Certainly things did not turn out the way you had hoped, but the conditions are such that...
The conditions? Those will never change. There's nothing to do but give up. Please just leave. Ignore me.
There will be no convincing you. Very well. I will go.
Oh, Goddess. Why did you curse me with such suffering?
What suffering? Tell me.
Ah, Leonie. Off to train?
Already done. What about you? Off to draw?
No, I'm on my way back. I was thinking of adding a little color to my latest piece, so...
Come to think of it, I've still never seen your work. Here, let me take a peek.
It doesn't work like that. You have to let me know in advance. I need time to prepare.
Lighten up. Wow, look at all that paper. Are these all drawings? What should I look at first?
Wherever we travel, I try to capture the feeling and character of the landscape. I guess they've all kind of piled up. Each place is unique. Not just the geography, but also the clothing and architecture and so on. Everywhere has its own design sensibilities.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be only one way to do stuff like engraving, but it actually varies a lot.
just within the Alliance, the styles are quite different between the North and South, and the Empire is even more diverse.
Oh, here's a landscape. What a bright blue sky. You really make it seem alive.
Alright, I know I've commented on this sort of thing and then turned out to be wrong before, but I'm pretty sure Leonie is in, like, the prayer emote position so that she can be, like, bent down looking over.
The blue of the sky changes with the season too. In the summer, it's darker, and yet in the winter, it's almost luminous. And, of course, the landscape below affects the sky's appearance by virtue of contrast. It's hard to get the color just right, so I spend a lot of time experimenting with pigments and... Oh no. I'm so sorry. I've been talking your ear off.
Listen, Ignatz, you need to become a painter.
Huh?
Nani?
Don't say it's not useful. Your talent moves people. Someday, I'm sure your art will save someone's life.
That's
Oh no, I wouldn't
hard
go
to
nearly
imagine.
that far.
Remember that girl you told me about? You made her so happy, and you were only just starting out. Think about what you could do now that you've had so much practice. This is your calling.
You think so?
Yeah, it's something you can do that no one else can. I envy you. I wish I had a gift like that. So stop apologizing for your talent and just do it.
Thank you, Leonie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to think about.
So I will say this, it does get a little bit repetitive having Ignatz talk to everyone about how he's a painter and he wants to be a painter, but he can't be a painter and that sort of thing. But it also does reflect something that I think is like a little bit more real, which is like somebody who doesn't have a lot of self-confidence, who then has conversations with a lot of different people who all, to varying extents, reinforce the idea that he should have more confidence and that he should pursue the thing that he wants to pursue. It's not just like one person convincing him. He's talking to a bunch of different people. They don't really present it this way, but it's almost like, you know, you could read it as he's seeking out opportunities to get like the validation that he needs, you know, from multiple perspectives, right? Like, you know, thinking, well, okay, this person, you know, this person is generally very positive or, you know, biased towards me or whatever, so I don't want to just take their word for it. I'm gonna like see what these other people think, that sort of thing. Like, this is a thing, I don't know, I mean, I've done stuff like that, right, where I say like, you know, I try to get, you know, several different people's opinion on whether I should do a thing or not. Usually not something quite this life-changing, but I mean, probably at least, you know, close. So yeah, I think that's like an advantage of this support system where like everybody talks to everybody, is you can kind of get that perspective where it's not just like one person who changed somebody's life. It's like or like one singular event necessarily. It's like a whole bunch of different like little things sort of adding up to a larger decision. Oh boy. Da-da-da. Raphael's perfected the technique! She didn't know he was there! His presence! Good job, Shamir.
Bernadetta, please, calm down!
Calm down? Sure, why shouldn't I? Nothing's more relaxing than being spied on! I just love it when huge scary men lurk behind me with their insidious smiles and heinous schemes! Ugh, you just want to make me a laughingstock! Ruin me in front of everyone! I know it!
Please, listen! I only came to hear you play. That's it. Promise. I'm not gonna make you perform in front of everyone else. I just wanted to hear you myself.
Just you? Nobody else? Really?
Really? I kept trying to ask, but you always ran away.
That doesn't mean you can just watch me creepily from the shadows, you know. That would scare anyone.
You're right, I'm sorry. I just didn't know how else to get your attention. You get so scared. But it looks like I ended up scaring you anyway. I'll leave you alone, Bernadetta. I really just wish I could have heard you play.
Raphael?
Yeah, that's kind of another example of what I was talking about. I mean, certainly overall for Bernadetta it is, right? Where like, you know, she freaks out no matter who's talking to her and then like slowly gets over that. But more specifically in this case, like the fact that Raphael doesn't even try to like convince her to not be who she is. He's just like, oh, you know, all right, I guess that's just the way you are. I'll leave you alone. But like Bernadetta is able to actually like see that happening and be like, wait, he's not out to get me. He really does just want to listen to me. I assume that's what's going to happen anyway.
Oh, it's Sedith. I'd better slip away before he...
Ah, I see you are indulging in a bit of reading. You are fond of books, I take it?
Yes, reading's one of my favorite pastimes. I was just finishing up, actually, so I think I'll...
That is most fortuitous.
Fortuitous? How do you figure?
Come with me. I have a story to share with you. Once upon a time, deep in the cold mountains, there lived a lazy fox and an industrious squirrel. The squirrel worked tirelessly all day long, while the fox did nothing but lounge around and play. When autumn came, the squirrel hurriedly gathered up acorns for the winter. But the fox continued to play without a care. A biting winter fell upon the land. The mountains, caked in snow, concealed all nourishment from sight. The hungry fox went to the squirrel's dwelling, but the squirrel had locked up tight and gone to sleep. Every so often, the squirrel would wake, enjoy a nibble of an acorn, and then return to an easy slumber. The fox, on the other hand, with nowhere else to turn, was forced to scrounge for food in the bitter cold of the forest. Forlorn and hungry, he wandered in solitude all through the winter, until spring came once more. And so it is to this very day that foxes are denied the comforts of hibernation.
Ah, I really learned something about foxes. I read lots of fairy tales like that when I was little. But the lazy fox and the industrious squirrel, huh? That one I don't think I've heard before.
That is not surprising, considering I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it?
I did. When Flame was young, she loved fairy tales more than anything. I would read them to her often.
It's not really a fairy tale.
Is a more recent creation. I wrote it for the benefit of the children in the monastery. So, what do you think? I'm curious to hear what sort of impression it made on you.
It's so cute.
You found it to be cute?
I see it now. You writing fairy tales for your little sister. That's just the cutest thing. Honestly, to me, you usually come across as stern and overly perceptive. But now I know you have a sweet side, too. I feel like I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
That is not what I was hoping to hear.
That was a fun one. I liked that support. Alright, what else is going on down here? Ingrid and Ignatz.
Good day, Ignatz. So, painting again?
Ingrid. Yes, I'm painting St. Saros again.
Look, I'm really sorry about the last time. It's my fault it turned out so, well, different.
No need to apologize. I appreciated the fresh input. It made me think.
That's kind of you to say, but no need to pull punches.
It's the truth. I'm so caught up in my own mind, I'd never have thought to try that.
Ignatz, I appreciate your attitude, but...
Yes?
There are times when it's okay to feel upset or angry. If you're feeling that way, it's always best to be honest.
But...
I understand the weight of what I did. I besmirched a sacred image, and it was a painting you were pouring your heart into. I got carried away, but I'd prefer if you had told me then and there that my request was uncalled for.
I'm not angry. I could never get angry with you. I'm sorry.
I apologize for not being angry.
Apologizing. Why are you apologizing?
Oh, sorry.
Stop saying sorry! Never mind. Forgive me. I came here to apologize, and now I'm being sharp with you.
Don't worry. It's my fault, really. I'm not very good at expressing myself.
I never intended to be such a bother. I think I'll leave you to it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Who's the other person that Ignatz kept apologizing to even when they told him not to? I can't remember.
Impressive as ever. It's always satisfying to see such skill in motion.
It's nothing to boast about. Just part of the job.
Sure, but I hear there wasn't a knight out there who could match your skill at reconnaissance and infiltration missions.
Don't forget assassination and coercion. Is there someone you need killed?
Many someones.
Ooh, so violent. Why would you jump to that conclusion?
You went out of your way to find me. I thought you might need a favor.
Sorry to disappoint, but I didn't come to request an assassination. I just want to talk.
With me?
Of course. You've piqued my interest for a while now. A little birdie told me you were born in Dagda. Is that true? That's pretty far away, beyond even Bridget to the west. So, what brought you to Fodlan?
I worked as a mercenary in Dagda. That is until I was defeated in battle against the Empire and left for dead.
I see. I'm surprised they didn't take you as their prisoner.
I know how to conceal myself.
Yeah, of course you do. Still, with your particular skill set, couldn't you make your way back to Dagda whenever you please?
That is true. I could return if I really wanted, but my interests have changed. For now, this is where I belong.
Where you belong, huh? That's heavy stuff. I wonder if this is where I really belong.
I wouldn't know. You need to figure that out yourself.
Well, I'm clearly spending this entire episode doing supports, so I'm probably going to try to do the rest of them. There's only a couple more.
Ah, Cyril. Cleaning again, I see.
Hilda, you're in the way. Move it.
I'm supposed to refill the horses' water troughs, but I can't find the buckets. I was told that they'd be in the usual place. What's the usual place?
Maybe you'd know where that is if you did your job sometime.
You know, Cyril, I don't want to interrupt you while you're cleaning, but...
Come on, the buckets are over near the wall, where they always are, because I put them there.
Okay. Thanks for your help. You're pretty strong. I bet you're tired, though. Come on, let's rest a bit.
Okay, just for a minute, though. I got more work to do.
Great talk.
I'm not a fan of awkward silences. Anything interesting happen lately?
Figured you were the one with something to say. Quiet don't bother me.
I need an interesting topic for this letter I'm writing to my brother. I'm stumped.
Your brother write to you a lot?
Constantly. Yeah, he must be bored. He's always going on about how worried he is for me. What's worse, if I take too long to reply, he gets more worried and writes more about it.
Write about your life, maybe. You know, stuff like, I got real lazy again today. Or maybe, can you believe I still don't know where they put the water buckets?
You're mean. Do you really think that little
little of me.
Yup.
You're a lazy gal who gets people to do her work for her. I never knew anybody like that in Elmira.
Oh, really? So Lady Rhea isn't the only difference between Fodlan and Elmira after all?
I don't like comparing Lady Rhea with you, but I figure you're right. But you know what's real weird? Nobody seems to mind picking up your slack. Even me.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing worth repeating. Anyway, I gotta get back to work.
He's such a diligent boy. I don't think I've ever seen someone from Fodlan work that hard.
What is that blue thing in the background? I was like, is there a hidden item over there? Or not hidden item, lost item, whatever. Anyway, what about like all the people who are like train, rawr? They're pretty diligent. Maybe just at different things.
Oh, hang on. I never got an idea from him about what to write in my letter.
Sure you did.
I guess there's nothing for it. Maybe I can just write about Cyril.
You can write about being lazy, like you said. Easy. Alright, this might be the last one.
Hey, writing to your sister again?
You bet! Gotta reply to these things as soon as they come in.
You had one last week, too. It's great to see you're both so good about staying in touch.
Wait, didn't his support with Ignatz say that, like, he hadn't written to her in a long time and they were... That was why he had to write about them being friends again, even though that happened, like, before the time skip? Ugh.
It's especially important when there's a war going on.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. My sister wrote to say how much she loved the painting supplies you sent.
Good. I'm glad gathering those pigments paid off.
You even made her a brush. I really appreciate you doing all that for her.
I was fascinated with painting at that age. I was a pretty artistic kid, if you can believe it. Not a lot of time for it when you're hungry, though.
Sounds like you had a pretty tough time growing up too, huh?
I guess so. We never thought of it that way. But it's true, the children in my village don't usually get to choose their futures. Any one of us could have had the talent for artistic genius and never even noticed. I was one of the lucky ones. I only got to follow my passion thanks to my father and all the other folks. That's why, once I come into my own, the first thing I'll do is head back there and help the other kids.
Oh, wow. It's like all the kids in your village are counting on you.
No need to exaggerate it. Besides, it's not like I'm unique. You're working hard for your sister's future, aren't you?
Yeah. It's like me and you are both carrying big weights. We should try sharing the weight with each other. You know, lighten both of our loads.
Huh?
If we share our problems, then we only gotta carry half the weight, right? It works out for everybody.
It's probably a good thing you didn't try to take on your family's business.
Wow!
If you take half of my burden and I take half of yours, the total's...
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing.
Nah, that doesn't sound right. Everything's lighter when you don't gotta carry it alone.
On second thought, you might be right. With the right attitude and the right partner to share the burden, maybe it is only half the weight.
Now you're getting it! It's a waste of energy to struggle alone when there's someone who can help you.
That's true. And I do hate waste, as you well know. So when it comes to working toward the future you're after, you know I won't fall short.
Great! And you should never fall short on sharing a big meal with me, too!
Deal.
Alright, we did it! Whew. It's a lot of supports. Okay, so... what I will do is... I'll just do, like, exploration stuff off-screen. Then... the instruction will probably be off-screen, too. I mean, even if there's something interesting that comes out of that, I can talk about it here. So I'll probably just start next episode at the next weekend. But unless there's like some more supports I need to show, which is possible. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for probably rare monster battle. Until then.